talk show My Health, Your Health. I'm Sanusi Rebecca Titilayo, your host. I'm so excited to be here, and of course, I'm excited to have you here also. First off, do me a favor, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. On today's episode of My Health, Your Health, we're gonna be discussing your health, the weather, and your genotype. In recent times, all over social media, people have been complaining as regarding how they are down health-wise, and people have been linking it to people of the AA genotype. Is it that every season there's a specific season whereby people of a certain genotype are expected to fall sick? Is that really true that this season is the season for people of AA genotype to fall sick? This is what we'll be discussing on today's episode of My Health, Your Health. And with me is an amazing guest that we're going to be looking at this topic together. But before I introduce my guest, I would love us to take a short break, and when I'm back, I'll be back with my guest. Don't go away, please. You're welcome back to the show, and with me is my guest, Pharmacist Elijah Sanusi, on the show this morning as we discuss the topic, your health, the weather, and the genotype. Pharmacist Elijah is Sanusi, is from Fortis Pharmacy Nigeria, and we've hosted him before on our show before, and I'm so excited to have him again on the first live video show. So, Pharmacist Elijah Oluwasegun, you're welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a very good pleasure to be here to talk to you. Thank you very much. I'm very delighted. Thank you for inviting me. It's a great privilege. Thank you. Let's go.
All right, thank you so much. All right, to the question, in recent times, people have been complaining as regarding being down health-wise. They've been saying that it's the season for people of the AA genotype. What's your view as regarding this assertion by people out there?
Well, actually, there is no genotype barrier to falling sick. We have different class of blood group genotype. We have the A, we have the AS, we have the AS are the sickle cell carrier, but they are not sickle cell patients. But the SS are the sickle cell patients specifically. So when we talk about falling sick, there is nobody that can fall sick. What determines your health is the way you take care of your health, and that's why we tell patients and people that health is wealth, and health is a very major priority that we have to take a very cognizant notice about.
Okay, so there's nobody that cannot fall sick.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So what will you now say that is actually going on that is making people to fall sick during this period?
Well, what's actually causing and making people to fall sick, I will have specifically classified it as regards the weather, because now we are in a dry season, and during dry season, there is a temperature increase. I mean the cold weather. So once there's a cold weather, some people begin to fall sick. Some people experience symptoms of headache, sneezing. Some people experience maybe nausea, fever, and some people have maybe running temperature. And all these symptoms, they are also related to the symptoms of the COVID and as well the Omicron. Okay. So that's why most people, once they are having malaria, most people are at high risk and fear factor of having been infected with COVID-19.
Okay, so can we say that what's going on around is just the weather, or can it also be Omicron or the COVID-19?
Before we could specify that this is this particular disease, a particular patient is suffering from, an holistic test has to be performed in the laboratory. So it is in the laboratory. There are different kits and different test kits for each infections or each sickness a particular person is having. If it's malaria, there's a malaria test kit that we use to test you, and if the line is bringing a double line, that means you responded positive for the malaria. And the COVID as well as different lab test kits. So before you can ascertain somebody of being COVID-19 a patient, there must be a test that has been done, because most of the symptoms of malaria is also found in COVID. So that's why we have to be very careful about that. Yeah.
All right.
And as well, even nowadays, people fall sick of malaria repeatedly, and we know this is the season. Even recently in the pharmacist, 70% of our drugs are being sold specifically on malaria, because presently we are even out of stocks. Why? And not that we have limited, we have excess, but we have been loaded upon by malaria patients.
Malaria patients. Wow. So what's your advice? Being you're a pharmacist and you've seen a lot of people come to the pharmacy this period to ask for drugs for malaria and everything. So what's your advice to people as regarding their genotype, the weather and their health based on what you just said now?
Specifically, the main cause of malaria is neither a bacteria nor a virus infection. Malaria is caused by plasmodium infection, and malaria itself can be prevented because malaria occurs through female anopheles mosquito. When a mosquito that has bitten an infected patient, comes around and bites, and mosquito, there's no symbol on them. You can't know that this particular mosquito has bitten somebody who has been infected already. So that's how malaria is being transferred from one patient to another. So the way we can only prevent malaria is to maintain a very good hygiene in our environment, in our homes. Let's ensure that we drink excess water, because when we take excess food, even if there's a mosquito bite, there's a way it works in our body and flush some toxic substances out of our body. So, and as well, this time I advise people, so far as a cold weather, let's give ourselves to taking vitamin C, no matter the dose, but we recommend medically the 1000 milligram for elderly because it's of high tensile strength compared to the 100 milligram. But vitamin C itself doesn't have a prescribed highest dose. Do you understand? Let me just put it higher dose like that. You can take as much as possible, but it's just that it has to be regulated.
Okay. All right, Pharmacist Elijah Sanusi, thank you so much for joining me on the show this morning.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you so much, and I hope next time when we invite you, you will be willing to show up on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, everyone, you've heard it all from my guest this morning as we discussed the topic: your health, the weather, and the genotype. You've heard a lot of advice that he has given. He said, take a lot of water this season. It is not that it is Omicron or COVID. It might just be malaria as a result of the weather. So that means you really need to pay a good attention to your health this season. Till next time, when I will be bringing another interesting topic your way as regarding your health, I remain your friend, Rebecca. And please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Have a great day. Bye.